Welcome to Under the Hood, powered by NORC, the podcast that brings you a burst of performance, protection, and precision. Whether you're behind the wheel, under the chassis, or behind the scenes in the lab, we break down the science and stories behind the world's most advanced lubricants, one drop at a time. This is Under the Hood, powered by NORC.
You know, all around the world, there's this huge push, right? Trying to get every last bit of efficiency out of our cars and slash those emissions. And it's not just about being green, it's really pushing engine technology forward in some big ways. Now, most of us, we see things like 5W30 on an oil bottle and we kind of get the gist. But what if that label is only telling like half the story? What if the real key to better fuel economy is kind of hidden?
That's exactly it. Our mission today really is to dig into something called high temperature, high shear viscosity, or HTHS. We wanted to break down what it actually is and, maybe more importantly, why it becomes so critical for modern engines.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack HTHS. So traditionally we talk about kinematic viscosity. That's basically how easily oil flows just under gravity, right? And that's measured by the SAE J300 standard everyone sees. Like in 5W30, the 30 tells you flow at normal engine temperature, about 100 degrees Celsius. And the first number, the 5Ws, that's all about cold starts. Think about it. A 5W30 flows way faster at minus 30 Celsius than, say, a thicker 15W40 oil. And that quick flow is vital, getting lubrication everywhere the second you turn the key. Protects the engine during those first crucial moments.
Exactly. And while that traditional view, the SAE grade, is absolutely fundamental for engine protection, especially at startup, it actually doesn't give you the full picture when you're talking about fuel efficiency under, well, all the different conditions inside a running engine.
Okay, so there's a gap there. If those numbers are for protection, what are we missing for efficiency? This sounds like where it gets really interesting. So you could have two oils, right? Both labeled, say, 5W30. They seem identical, flow the same in a standard test, but one makes the engine noticeably more efficient. How does that work?
Right, and that's because inside that engine, the oil isn't just flowing gently. It's being subjected to some pretty intense forces. It has to lubricate and protect parts like bearings, camshafts, the piston rings against the cylinder liners. And it has to do this under conditions of really high shear, basically being squeezed through tiny gaps, and at very high temperatures, often over 150 degrees C. So HTHS dynamic viscosity, that's the test the industry uses now because it best predicts how the oil behaves under those specific harsh conditions. It actually measures the oil's temporary loss of viscosity when it's under that high shear stress and heat.
Okay, wait. So HTHS measures how the oil thins out temporarily under stress.
Precisely. It's a temporary effect, but it happens constantly in critical parts of a running engine.
So what does this all mean, practically speaking, for, the driver and fuel consumption? A lower HTHS viscosity. That means less resistance, less drag inside the engine.
Exactly. Less resistance to flow between those fast-moving parts. So the engine doesn't have to work quite as hard just to spin itself. And that directly means less fuel burned and consequently lower greenhouse gas emissions. It's a win for the owner's wallet and for the environment.
That makes sense. Less internal friction, more power goes to the wheels, uses less fuel.
Spot on. And this understanding, this focus on HTHS, is really driving change with the car manufacturers themselves. You see, the big original equipment manufacturers, the OEMs, they're actively designing engines and specifying oils with lower HTHS viscosities now. It's a key strategy for them to meet those increasingly strict targets for emissions and fuel economy.
So they're intentionally aiming for lower HTHS oils in new cars.
Yes. Definitely. But it's not just a matter of making the oil thinner overall. Achieving these lower HTHS values while still maintaining engine protection. Well, that requires some really sophisticated chemistry. The formulations are complex, involving advanced base oils and additive packages, quite different from traditional higher HTHS oils.
Right. It's a balancing act. You need the efficiency gain from lower HTHS, but without sacrificing that crucial engine protection over the long haul.
That's the challenge, and where lubricant science is really advancing.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, it sounds like HTHS viscosity, well, maybe not something you see advertised up front, is this really critical factor. It directly links the oil in your engine to how fuel efficient it is and its environmental impact. It's much more than just those two numbers on the bottle.
Absolutely. And it makes you think, doesn't it? As this global drive for efficiency and lower emissions just keeps intensifying, what other sort of hidden factors, what unseen shifts in chemistry or material science are going to shape the next generation of not just lubricants, but all sorts of technologies? How will these tiny, almost invisible changes continue to affect the cars we drive, maybe even the world around us in the coming years and decades?
That's a great question to ponder. Keep that curiosity going, because understanding these hidden layers really helps make sense of all the innovation happening. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
That's it for this drop of knowledge from Under the Hood, powered by NORC. Want more power, precision, and protection? Follow us on social media and discover how NORC keeps engines running smarter from city streets to desert heat. Until next time, keep it clean, keep it NORC.